Okay, well, let's look and let's see if what we're feeling is reflected in the reality of the numbers. And this is all from Atlanta Realtors Association. I think they're pulling their data from FMLS primarily. Not sure if Georgia MLS is included in these numbers, but this is the big picture. Total of 5,000, just over 5,000 sales, just over 6,000 active listings, average sales price at $445, new listings 6,634, months of supply. That tells the big story right there. Nobody in this room and probably in this building has ever seen anything below that number. 0.9, and that's what it's been for the last 2 or 3 months. Unheard of. Months of supply is unheard of, and the median sales price at $380. Okay, so that's big picture. Let's dive into each one of these. So for February, there was a total of just over 5,000 sales completed and a 5% decrease from 2021. So it may not come across very well. It might be better on your screen right there, but a slight dip from the previous year's numbers, but yet still an increase from January to February. So still strong, okay, in a lot of ways. All right. The sales price, the median sales price, increased 21.4%. Dramatically disproportionate on the sales price versus the inventory levels. So what we're seeing is true capitalism at its finest, the law of supply and demand. Yeah, America, that's right. Okay, so a 21.4% increase in sales price from last year to this year. This would be probably one of those numbers that I would just commit to memory. And you just spout it off in a conversation and, oh my gosh, do you sound credible or what? All right. Average sales price. We had this conversation the last time we did this, but everybody want to talk about the difference between average sales price and median sales price for the new agents in the room?
So average is, if you add them all up and divide by the number of homes, that's the average. So it's, yeah, the medians, if you line them all up, what's the actual middle number? So average can be a little bit weighted by top or bottom. Median is a better indicator of the actual middle price number.
Agreed. Because there are more homes in the $150,000 to $500,000 price point than there are homes in the $600,000 to $1 million price point. Okay, so average is the true statistical average. Add up the totals divided by the number of houses you've got. That's your average sales price. The median sales price is you put the lowest price house here and the highest price house here. You go right to the middle. That's the number that is your median sales price. Okay. For statistical purposes and for reporting purposes, theoretically, the median sales price is more accurate, but that's closer to reality for your buyers and your clients. Okay, so average sales price $445, a 17.7% increase since 2021, but pretty standard. It went up again just over the same time last month, not by much, but a little bit, but a steady increase in rise. Show me an investment opportunity that can go from 2019 to 2021, 20 to 2021 and 2022. Show me any investment that could do that kind of growth. Just doesn't exist.
Less volatile too.
Yeah.
It's almost guaranteed that you will get that.
Okay. Months of supply. Most of us grew up in this environment, about 3 months of supply. Okay, again, for the new people in the room, months of supply is a metric that is for the...
How long it takes for the houses to sell off if you stop listing today?
Exactly. Okay, it's an extrapolation of the historic pace of sales. how fast homes were selling, if you extrapolate that from today forward to how many homes are currently on the market, how long would it take for those homes to sell off if no additional homes came on the market? If you are retail, if you have retail background, think about it as inventory turns. How quickly does the inventory turn over? And the answer, it was actually on the front page, it's not restated here, but it's 0.9, less than 1 month of inventory. Okay, so as a barometer, your script with your client is 6 months of inventory is considered to be a balanced market. Okay, so the number of buyers is roughly equal to the number of sellers that are out there in the marketplace. That's a balanced market. Okay, anything less than 6 months of inventory is a seller's market. Anything less than 1 month of inventory is a strong seller's market. Okay, it's 0.9.
Because I'm sure the little bit we have them because they're not desirable. Because if they were, they would have 0.
We're going to talk about that in just a minute.
Take the open door out.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
0.
Take the iBuyers out of the
Last
equation.
time it was actually at 6 or above.
Your lifetime, was it ever?
I was gonna say 2019.
'Cause we're
Yeah.
back to, we're back to
Because you
January
said
2019, it's at 30.
Yeah. 2019. Yeah, I probably closer to 2015, 16 timeframe. I mean, when I first started in the industry, every single commission was at 7%, and I could get it all day long, every day. I was doing things like writing into the listing agreement standardized price reductions at certain points of the contract. 2 weeks in, if we don't have an offer yet, we're going to reduce it $5,000. I mean, you could get that because it was a balanced market, and you needed to have those kind of rules and regulations in place. Mike talked about it yesterday, that there was a time when he wouldn't take an overpriced listing. Now, take them every day, all day long. Okay. All right. So ARA's market trends. So new listings, 6,634, a 3.8 decrease since last year. Okay, so not significantly lower, but it is indeed lower, as you can see by the decline of the graph over time. Okay, but again, still slightly more than in January. Trevon.
And one thing that I really realized with this, you really have to hammer home to people that it's not that there's no inventory, but that there's nothing to buy. It's like Mike says all the time, if there's nothing to buy, how are we having record months? And
Exactly.
There's just so many more buyers in the pool, so much higher demand. And if you break it down for people like that, they'll definitely respect where you're coming from and know that you know what you're talking about.
You're stealing my thunder, because the next slide is exactly this. Okay, so there's a 3.8% decrease in new listings, but let's look at active listings. So in other words, this is closer to standing inventory, right? A 15.2% decrease from last year. Okay, so last year a new listing would go on and it might stay on for a couple of weeks, a month. This year, it's gone that fast. Okay, so it's not so much a matter of not enough inventory. There's enough inventory. Not enough for a balanced market, but there's enough for most buyers out there right now. The key is, and the script on this is, you got to be ready. You got to have all your ducks in a row. You got to have your pre-qual taken care of. You got to have your financing taken care of. You got to have your proof of funds ready for your appraisal gap coverage or your all cash exhibit if you're in that category. You got to have all your ducks in the row, and you as their real estate agent are the band leader. You're the person that's leading that charge to make sure that they're ready for all of that, because when you find it, it's too late, because it'll be gone like that.
You know, a few
Sir.
years ago, I've been exclusively a buyer's agent for 8 years. I did, at one point in time, I didn't believe in backup offers because I felt they were being used as leverage, and once upon a time they were. But now, when you look at people get so overly aggressive, and then they realize, oh crap, it's a $50,000 gap. when you look at every day on the Matrix portal, 300, 400 homes back on the market.
Yep.
And I will tell you that just in my short little term of a listing agent last month, we've had to go to a backup offer.
Yeah.
So I would implore you to consider a backup offer when you're writing offers. If you don't get the first offer, say yes, we will become a backup offer.
Couldn't agree with you more. Could not agree with you more. And not just a top drawer backup offer, which is what most listing agents consider. Oh, okay, yeah, sure, you're a backup offer. I'm going to put you in the top drawer right here.
Absolutely.
When the proverbial doo-doo hits the fan, I'll pull out the drawer and open it up and I'll give you a call. No. I'm going to send you the backup exhibit. Let's get everything signed. Let's get everything bound, and you've got your bases covered for when it does hit the crapper, proverbially. Okay? So the script with those, this is the best graphic I've found for your naysayers, the market is crashing, there's a bubble, I'm going to wait for prices to become more reasonable. So there is an inverse relationship between prices and the market and interest rates in the market. So we heard Greg yesterday talking about interest rates on the rise. 5 or 6 more adjustments potentially between now and the end of 2022. Interest rates, according to him, are probably going to top 5% by the end of this year. So when interest rates go up, prices do come down. So those that are waiting for prices to come down of your buyers, this is the key here. Interest rates of a $350,000 home at 2.5%, your payment's $1,356. The same home, after whatever adjustments take place, is $300,000, but you're at 4.5. Your payment just went up $150 for the cheaper home that you waited for. And by the time this happens, the home that you're trying to sell is no longer as marketable as it was before, and you're not likely to get the same price. Okay? So this, it's the perfect example of how you can have a conversation with your client about waiting versus moving now. Whenever I'm sitting in the barber's chair, whenever I'm having a conversation at a gas station, how's the market? When is a good time to sell or buy? What's my standard go-to answer? Today. If not yesterday, today. Because none of us has a crystal ball that is good enough to see that far out to know what the trends are going. So you handle the information that you have now. And there's no better time than now. One of my, the second part of that script that I use is, if my crystal ball was that good, I wouldn't need to be selling real estate to you, because I'd be playing the market and so it's easy to have that conversation. And this graphic visual gives you all the ammunition that you need. All right? A couple other just funnies I found in here where the competition is fierce and full price offers don't matter. Sure.
The other conversation I've been having a lot, where it seems like there's just a logical fallacy held by many people, is, well, if I sell right now, houses are so expensive. What am I going to buy? It's like, well, if you wait later, you're going to get
Less.
$30,000 less for your house that you're getting a discount on the next. There's no such thing as a market where you get more and then pay less.
Less. Yeah, it doesn't exist. Yeah. Yep. So, I mean, a lot of people are I don't have a graphic up here, but if you think interest rates are on this curve, sales prices are on this curve, and they're looking for that spot right in the middle. I don't know when it is. I don't know where it is. Do you guys? No. And somebody that professes to know that, they're probably blowing smoke. Okay? So, and you're absolutely right. If you wait to have something more readily available to buy, then what you're going to be able to sell it for is not going to be as strong. So, it's a double-edged sword. It cuts both ways.
Well, I think the trend right now is, I've heard multiple agents that I've done business with say, I can't do the buying side. Right, I just can't, because of the amount of time now it costs. So it's a great opportunity to step in and differentiate yourself from the 50,000 other people that are out there saying, I've got the time, I've got the hustle, hire me. Let me
Yeah.
go find the property for you, because a lot of people are pulling back from that. Right now, it's easy to put a sign in the yard, and I'm not disrespecting the listing side, but that's, if I had a choice, I'd do that all day long instead of, showing 60 homes and writing 90 offers. But I'm saying, I see that as a trend right now, is a lot of people are pulling off of that buying side. Yeah, give me your business, I'll take it.
Absolutely.
And I can see that also maybe as a savvy agent, kind of focusing on buyers right now, building those relationships might help later, because the market might be shifting. It could be another conversation now. Houses might be harder to sell and everything, so it's a good strategy to.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right. All right, everybody, let's have a great day.